Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Everybody in Charlotte with some of my favorite humans that are in the city. We are now bringing on two of the most amazing Love is Blind Season 6 cast members and also so many other things that describe these incredible women. So I'm going to have both Sunni and Laura give their own introductions because they do so many different things. Thank y'all so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
What's up, what's up? We're finally meeting in person now for so long.
I'm like, yeah, I know her. I'm like, not really.
But we feel like we know each other. I love it.
No, we do. Yeah, after today, we're besties.
Oh, exactly. And you guys are wearing some really cute shirts too.
Yes,
today.
we are.
Do you like it?
Love it.
I
Just Lou Bear's line over here.
Yeah.
Unbothered. My collab with Girl Tribe Co. They have been just absolutely amazing. They're a woman-owned business, besties, by besties, for besties, just their whole motto I just love. So yeah, we collabed together and made some cute little t-shirts for all of my unbothered girlies.
They're so cute. And you have a lot of good catchphrases too. There's
Oh
so
my
many.
gosh,
There
so
are
many.
so many. The Go Kick Rocks with open-toed shoes, that was just phenomenal. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. But what are some of your favorites?
Oh my gosh. I honestly don't even remember half the stuff that comes out of my mouth. So I've said a million times, go kick rocks barefoot, go kick rocks with open-toed shoes. It just seems like a more polite way to say, like, go yourself. You know, when maybe that doesn't drive the point home all the
There
way.
you go. There you go. Exactly. And I would love to hear from you all the different things that you're doing. So
Oh, my gosh.
you know, I know that you've done a lot of these interviews and you've talked about all sorts of things from Netflix to wherever, but I want to hear from the Charlotte perspective too, what you're doing here.
Yeah. So I would say, I mean, my day-to-day is I'm an account director for a company called GSMA. It's a big telecommunications association based out of London. I work closely with the Atlanta office to sell and produce two of their large technology, AI, robotics, private networks events. One's in Barcelona, which is why I was busy during the reunion. And then another one happens in Vegas in October. But on the Charlotte front, oh my gosh, what do I not do? I would say the biggest thing is definitely Shop Kick Rocks, which has teamed up with the Girl Tribe, which I'm so excited about. That has been taking up a bunch of energy, but in the best way possible. I also have a notebook business with my brother, which we launched in 2022, but we recently are getting it into stores and collaborating with a few local Charlotte businesses. So I'm very excited to kind of show more of that soon, but that's Ink Daddy Press.
I love it. But what brought you to Charlotte? So we said, you know, we have Atlanta. That's the main office for your company.
Yep.
But
Yep.
what brought you here?
Yeah, I spend a lot of time in Atlanta. I was actually there for 10 years, which I don't know if a lot of people know. Got a lot of love for Atlanta, but my family's out of North Carolina. So parents getting older, my brother's having a baby soon. And so I spend a lot of time going back and forth and just a lot of friends and family in North Carolina. I just love it. I went to college here.
Love that.
Go Pirates.
Go Pirates, yeah. Well, we're the exact same family in Atlanta and in North Carolina. So, and then Miss Sunni, I already knew Sunni before, and actually before you even went on the show, we hung out literally right before. So, if you want to tell me more about all the great things that you do in Charlotte too.
Yeah, absolutely. So I do have my full-time job, but on the side, I do a lot of things in Charlotte. I've started an Instagram that kind of focuses on when people move to Charlotte and they're new and they want to meet new people. We have a group chat where we go, and I kind of have some things where I go and I'll meet them there. So I try and introduce them to different people so they can come alone. And we're actually going to be planning an event all together where we can showcase each of our skills in that group. So that will be a lot of fun. And then I like to promote events and different things going on in Charlotte. And actually we're about to help with a dating event coming up in Charlotte with Jigsaw. So that's going to be a fun one. Chelsea and I are helping with that. So there's just a lot of different things going on that I love to be a part of. Anything I can fit in, I'm there. Like you. I know you're in everything. So.
Well, we all are. We're doing all the things. Well, I just love being with these badass women here. So I would also love to know, since you're recommending all these great places, maybe when people show up to Charlotte for the first time, what are some of y'all's favorite places to go to? This could be restaurants, this could be activities. What are some places maybe that not everyone knows about too?
So my favorite place is probably Camp North End or the Whitewater Center. If it's like a family event or activity, bars, Dahlia's. Dahlia's like a hidden gem.
It's a great one.
Yeah.
It's a really good one.
Yeah.
I love Dahlia's.
I would say this is probably so cliche, but I love the Crunkleton.
That's not cliche. It's
I
so good.
love
And it's
it.
right around the corner here
I think
from
the
Everybody
vibes
Studios.
are so good. It's good for date night. It's good for a group. Also, we just went to Rosemont the other day for dinner.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss. It's
Love
good for
this.
brunch. Now I know it's good for dinner. That place is really good.
One of my favorite places, our head of studio, Liz, who's over here behind the camera over here, she definitely took me there, and that was great.
Yes.
I loved
So
Rosemary.
Yes.
good.
No,
Food
very
is
good.
delicious.
Yeah, Charlotte has good food.
They-
I feel like people don't realize, but there's a lot of good food. There's a lot of fun things to do.
Amen.
I love it here.
And a lot of that was highlighted in Love is Blind, which was really
Yeah.
cool for anyone that was watching. They're like, look at my city. We're showing out. But what are some of the things that you wish that you both could have had everyone see, the rest of America or whoever's watching? I know there are hours and hours of footage that are taken of this, and that it's not aired. So I would love to know maybe something that you wish would have been seen.
I'll let Sunny start because I know there's a lot that.
well, I'll say first of all, our friendship. Like we were the
Yeah.
closest in the pods, and they didn't show much of. I don't know why, but they didn't show a whole lot of your story in the pods, and I feel
Yeah.
like that was left out. And so then, our interactions, and Laura's hilarious. Like I think she's probably the funniest one in the cast. So I mean, there's a lot. That's why she's quick-witted too, and that's why her sayings catch on. So I feel like we had a lot of moments that were just like hilarious that were missed.
We cackled the whole time.
The entire
like
time.
ugly laughing, like veins popping out of her forehead. Literally the whole time. Like they were probably like, cut that scene, cut that. Like they're ugly laughing again.
No, stop it. Oh gosh. And then I guess there were like parts of my story that were missing that I was kind of like, it could have been nice to, because I was part of that and I did go through that. So I don't understand why it wasn't shown, like when I was dating Matthew, or just different things like that. So that was kind of disappointing, but
It's crazy to have so many people and everybody has their own story no matter how kind of long it was. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. But they tell you that, you know what I mean? So we knew that,
oh yeah.
you film for days on end, for weeks on end, and then they got, 12 episodes they got to pump it into. But I would say for me, there was a lot I wish wasn't shown, but no, I'm kidding. But I would say the story between me and my ex-fiance, the kind of more of the context leading up to it. We had a connection day one. And it was very loud. It was very proud. It was very kind of known on the girl side of things and on the guy side of things. And so it's kind of when they picked up our storyline, it's where it had started to get a little murky with the love triangle. But there's so much more that went into it before that and after that. I wish they had shown. We were actually at a great local restaurant called Kid Cashew, and where he met my friends, and we just had. It was such a colorful, just like interesting night, even with some unknown foreshadowing that happened. But yeah, they can't show it all in, so.
But the Kid Cashew night.
The Kid Cashew night was a good night, and there were some good questions that were asked. So yeah, maybe there's some lost footage somewhere that'll circulate.
I love that. Well, what I noticed, and I think a lot of people noticed, and I talked about this with Brittany when she came on an episode and with Mackenzie when she came on, but the girls' girl energy was so beautiful. The friendships that were made
It was thick.
in those pods and then outside of them, it was awesome. And to me, that I feel like it represents Charlotte a lot, just the kind of entrepreneurs I've met and some of the women here.
Yeah.
Do you guys notice that in Charlotte yourselves? Just the kind of ways that women are supporting each other and
Well, they call it Queen City for a reason. I feel like all the women here, they've got their stuff together. They know what they want. They aren't here to play games. And I can't say that I think that the men are always here to bring the energy, but the women, they got it.
Yeah. I would agree. Like, I would say my main goal, like I was laser kind of focused on like finding my man, and I was just like so convinced I was going to, in the whole experiment. But I was so nervous. You never know when you have 15 women, and I feel like I'm a friendly gal and I can try to relate to most people, but you just never know. And I'd seen previous seasons, so I was like, ooh. But I feel like day one, we're like, no one's messing with us. A couple of the times things like rumors would happen on the guy side and they would circulate over to our side. And we were like, we would shut it down.
Yep.
We're like, we're not having it. So we really did have each other's backs the whole time, no matter what it might look like at times. But I would say, and then tying that into Charlotte, absolutely. I mean, the group of women, both personally and professionally, that I know is just the girl power in Charlotte is just so amazing. There's an organization that I work with that I forgot to mention earlier, but Dress for Success, specifically the Charlotte division. They're just such an amazing charity organization, the work that they do with the local women in Atlanta and in Charlotte.
I think also, maybe some work there too.
They have an Atlanta division as well. Yeah. But just the work that they do just to get women prepared and just to go into the workforce and just present themselves in the best way possible is amazing.
I'm with you on that. I
Yeah.
love Dress for Success.
Yes.
So another question is, when I'm watching these episodes, so Jess, his friend, and Mackenzie, and also watching just them, I was really nervous too about like, oh my gosh, what are the certain things that are going to be taken out of this?
They better
or
be nice to them.
They better be nice to them. Exactly. Like very, very protective, right? But with you guys, were there any parts like with mental health in general that you feel like people don't understand what you go through? You sign up for the show, right? But you don't know exactly how it's going to feel when you're in these pods without your phones. What are some of the things you guys are going through, or even you're waiting for a year until this thing comes out after you filmed it, right?
Yeah.
And you're watching it as the public is watching it. So I would love for you to explain things that people need to know. Like I have so much empathy and sympathy for what people must be feeling.
I'll let you start.
Well, I think that if you really think about it, you're kind of being stripped down to what are your biggest insecurities? Why are you single? I remember one point I realized almost every guy I've been with has cheated on me. And it was like hard for me to be interviewed and even take that in. And so you just go through all different kinds of emotions, and you have to try and stay strong in a point where you can't talk to your family, you can't talk to your friends. So thank goodness we had each other, but it's still hard to process it all and try and date and feel like you're going to bed later and waking up earlier, so you're not getting all that sleep, which I think is so important. So it's not always like you feel like you're in your best mindset. And at one point, I even felt like I was like selling myself to these guys, because they tell you, hey, look at who's around you. What's over here is on the other side. And we were like, okay, so our guy's definitely there, because these women, they've got it. So the guys definitely got it. So then you go over there and you're selling yourself, and I never do that now. So it just was a very interesting mental state to be in.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. And I think, it's without any distractions, I understand why it works. I understand why they do it, and I understand why it works. Because to Sunni's point, you really are stripped down to your thoughts, your insecurities, but also your emotions, and you're very honed in on what am I doing here? And you're there to discuss with the other ladies, but also just to feel your emotions and to think through it on your own, which I think is important. But yeah, it's long days, and you're on a mission, and you're so invested, and you can't call your mom and chat or ask for advice. You can't call your best friend. So, yeah, it's kind of funny. But then, and then you almost forget about it because it's filmed a long time ago, and then you maybe start dating other people or doing whatever, and then you're like, oh, okay, we're dealing with this now.
And speaking of, what was dating again after this show? So would you guys consider yourself dating experts at this point? I feel like you would be after it's your job for like 15 hours a day, right?
I think we can both say the speed dating portion was so fun. Like, especially the first couple days before like real emotions got involved. It was fun. And we've said it to producers too, that we're like, if you guys could do this, like get rid of the TV aspect, because that's a whole other, kind of robust layer. But I'm like, if you could just do the speed dating with the matchmaking aspect and knowing that you're probably talking to people on the other side, but you're removing that physical aspect, I think it would be wildly successful.
Yeah.
They could do like a road show with it or something.
For
I
sure.
like that. Yes, a road show. Yes.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. But
Oh, but great. Sorry, I thought you were going to say something here.
Oh,
I'm like,
sorry.
I'm listening to you. Are you a dating expert now? Tell me about it.
Oh, yeah.
So dating, so there's people that are always single, and there's people that are always in a relationship, and I'm always single. So I have a hard time like finding. I want to say I'm picky, but it's rare that I really like somebody. But when I do, I'm 100% in. So I rather sit at home on my couch by myself than be on a date with someone that I'm not into. And I find that a lot of times I don't know.
You're busy, and you bring a lot to the table. So it's like, why are you going to jeopardize your time and energy that could be better spent doing something else? All the great things you're doing and dedicated to someone who's not worthy is how I see it, girl.
Thank you. I'll take
You are
that.
booked
That's
and
what I-
busy.
I'm
so-
already feeling like I'm in the pods with you guys here. I love that. Supporting each
Yeah,
other.
that's kind of
Yes.
how it is. Yeah.
I love that. And I think another thing that when I talk to my friends about dating is that a lot of times you find out a lot about yourself when you are dating other people. And I would love to know what's something you figured out about yourself, or what did you also realize, like, I really love this about me. And, maybe he didn't see that in me, but I love this about me.
I would say, I think there's so much truth in that, to where you learn a lot about yourself. I'm obsessed with, there's a kind of influencer blogger. Her name's Tinks, but I just feel like she's the gospel. But she calls it data collection. And when you go out and you date, you learn what you're actually looking for and what you actually need from somebody. You may go into a relationship thinking, these are my deal breakers, these aren't. And then you actually get that and you're like, wait, never mind. Now this is more important than this. So I feel like it was in the pods, it was that on steroids. But yeah, I don't know. I did a ton of self-work and ton of therapy before I went into it. And I had the relationships and, I had done the collection of the data. So I kind of knew what I was looking for and willing to kind of stand for and where I was willing to be flexible, which they didn't show because I was willing to be flexible in some spots. But yeah, I don't know. We all learned a lot about each other and exactly what works for us and what doesn't through that process.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like I feel like I'm an open book. So I feel like I say everything. But what I learned is I don't express my emotions well when I'm upset or sad. Like I remember I was like swallowing tears talking about something that was huge in my life that I had to go through. And I just was like quiet for a second trying to swallow my tears. But that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be able to open up and be your full self. And so I was like, wait, I thought I was an open book. What is this? Why can't I cry and just tell them that's what I'm doing?
Yeah.
I'm talking about something.
But it's hard.
sensitive.
It's hard. And especially when you have cameras that are watching your moment too. So
I will say in the pods, you almost forget the cameras are there. You can't really see it. Like the pods were cozy.
Yeah.
Like we had the best time in the lounge of the pods. It was once you get out of the pods, you're like,
oh,
you're like, wait.
it's too funny. And what do you think that you notice maybe is a quality that all women should watch out for in a potential partner?
Ooh, I can probably answer this pretty quickly. My biggest thing is a kind of maybe advisory to women is don't let someone sell themselves to you on who they wish they were or who they think you want to be with. Try to really date with a purpose and let that person show you who they are. And I think that's so important from both sides. And I think that's like kind of part of dating and, data collection is that it's like figuring out and just letting the other person choose. Present yourself as you are and then let the other person do the same and then see if you guys are a match for each other. I think so many times maybe men and women will kind of present themselves as this is who I want to be. This is the type of partner I want to be. This is who maybe would be the best fit for you. Where it's like just go into it being yourself and giving them the space to be their true self and then see if it's a match.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's
Good
a good
advice.
one. How do I even go against that? What? No. I'll say one of the biggest lessons that I've learned is that not everybody has the same heart as you. So when I've been dating, I feel like I've given so much and that sometimes I don't see it reflected back. But I have to realize not everybody has lived the same life and has the same heart and has the same motivation behind who they are. So I think that just knowing that they doesn't mean that they're a bad person, but they just don't have that same heart. So it almost is hard to not take it personally.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of that's such a good point. That's kind of like a love language thing too. You know what I mean? I feel like we talked about that like there was like a whole day where like all in the pods where everybody was talking about like their different love language. But I think being in tune with that and knowing like you lead with your heart and like words of affirmation and quality time and stuff like that. So if somebody's showing you, not showing you that, then maybe they're showing their love in a different way. So
yes.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
That totally makes sense. I love that. And what are you guys looking forward to the most, whether it's something that's in Charlotte or what is the next thing for you?
I am looking forward to a day off. I'm truly having the best time. And it's like, but I am one person that will fill my calendar all, 12 hours that I'm, of the day. And then I realize 7 days are booked and I'm like, whoopsie. So I'm looking forward to next Monday when all I have to do is my 9 to 5 and I'm not so booked and busy.
Yeah. And actually, the next thing that we have coming up is the Novella grand opening. So that will be a lot of fun. We're ambassadors for a new spa coming to Charlotte. So
how could we forget about that?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, you have a lot of things.
Yeah. Novella is an amazing med spa, spa, just like it's woman owned. I mean, Allison Bridges, who owns it, is absolutely phenomenal. And she's put her heart and soul into it. And it opens in Bellatine on May 16th. So we'll be there for the grand opening.
Exciting. May 16th. Okay, fabulous. And is there anything, I can't believe that we're already here at the end of the episode. Is there anything that you feel like is really on your heart or your mind that you want to share, whether it's advice for other female entrepreneurs or other badass women in Charlotte? Just anything on your heart.
Absolutely. I get so many messages from after my part of the show was shown, so many messages of women being like, you've helped me stand up for myself or speak for myself or realize that I wasn't putting myself first. And so I would just say, like, my advice is that there's so many people settling in the world, specifically women, because they think that they're a certain age or they're at a certain time in their life, where just don't settle. Put yourself first no matter what, and stand up for yourself. If you're not being treated the way that you deserve to be treated, and you're not getting the respect that you deserve from anyone in your life, then on to the next. There's no point in lollygagging.
Thank you next.
Thank you next. Yep.
I think the biggest thing is just make sure that you love yourself first. I think that that's huge in any relationship. So I know I've had to work through it. I've gone to therapy. I've done, you have to really love yourself first before you can really you can be 100% happy with yourself, but you can be a million times happier with the right person after you're happy with yourself. So
that's a
beautifully
wonderful
said.
point.
And also be the person that you want to marry, right?
Yes.
I feel like that's self-work I've had to do is, am I the exact person that I would want to be in a full lifelong relationship with?
Yeah.
And then once you're there, good to go. Hopefully they'll just show up, right?
They'll come
They'll come to us.
in droves. Yeah.
We don't chase, we attract.
Right. Yes, exactly.
But ladies, thank you so much for being here on Everybody in Charlotte.
Thanks for
Got
having
Sunni and Laura with us. You guys are awesome. I'm excited to see this will be like a little time capsule from where we are right here in 2024 in May. What's going to happen in 2026 May? We'll see. But y'all are just awesome. But once again, this is Meredith Dean, Marinator, and I am thrilled to have these incredible women on another episode of Everybody in Charlotte. We bring on people once a week, just like them, who are doing big things. And we're also here at Everybody Studios. If you're interested in hosting your own podcast or want to do a creative project, you can do that, and we will see you next time.